What's up, guys? This is MUGZY, upcoming hip hop artist from Sydney, Australia, of the land down under. And right now I'm going to do this little vlog interview video for my girl Brenda Lopez over at Spread Your Music to the World show. Shout out thanks to you, B, for getting back to me, because any exposure is great exposure. We're getting my name out there to the world. You know, even if it's like these interviews right now or getting the viewers to know a little bit about me, MUGZY, from Sydney, Australia. So I'm going to have some fun with this. You obviously send me the questions in my email, and I'm just going to go through one or the other and give some viewers or people that are tuning into the show some in-depth about me and my career. So here we go. So the first one you sent me is, what type of music do you do? Obviously it's hip-hop, rap music. My era is the 90s and the early thousands, so my flow would kind of be like guys like you know, Nas, DMX, Rakim. You know, people say my flow, I've got kind of like that Lloyd Banks, like smooth sort of style, but with a lot of meaning in my lyrics. Just, you know, painting the picture through, you know, poetry and art. So 90s and early thousands, that's my motto of my hip-hop style. When did you first start? I'm 27 at the moment. I started hip-hop music when I was late 14, early 15. So like I said, you know, the early thousands era, you know, you had guys like 50 Cent, Eminem, you know, like Jay-Z, Damon Dash, The Diplomats. Man, the list goes on. But like around the time of 14, before I came into contact with hip-hop music and the culture of it, I guess you can say that loner, sort of no friends outside a kid, and I had a lot of, you know, adolescence growing up, like of anxiety and depression, and you know, I used to get picked on and bullied a lot, not just like emotionally, but like, you know, just like beaten and everything. And I guess in a sense that kind of sent me to a suicidal mindset. Like, you know, I always say that teenagers, they can't really see into the future, they sort of see into the now, and they don't realize this is all a passing phase. You know, we all grow out of this and grow up. That's why like a lot of suicide goes up from these teenagers, because they're constantly thinking in the now, and you know, they're all in their bubble of, you know, the world hates me, and like, you know, the drama. So around that time of, you know, the early thousands, I would look up to these guys like that I would see on, you know, MTV and BET and VH1, like, you know, obviously Eminem and like just, you know, Tupac, and these guys with this raw aggression and their lyrics and their poetry, and they could just walk into like, they're like gods in a way, because they could just walk into any situation or any neighborhood or any atmosphere and nothing would bring them down. And it was just like their look and their style and their, you know, the grittiness in their lyrics. And I wanted to be like that. I didn't want to be that, you know, that scared kid anymore. So I started really mimicking what M did at first. Like I would write like real twisted kind of lyrics, but I knew if I want to progress or take this serious as an artist, I'd have to stem away with that, because like as I started to really indulge myself within this culture, I would research more about it, like, you know, 73 and the Boogie Down Bronx, and then the commercial element in the 80s, like Run DMC and, you know, Curtis Blow and Grandmaster Flash, and, you know, the 90s, early thousands and so on. And I would see like these guys like KRS-One and stuff say, you know, constantly say hip-hop was brought up on authenticity, and, you know, you can have your influences, but if you're really following, like mimicking what your influences are doing, you won't be morally respected in this culture, you know. So I kind of had my influences, but I dropped like the whole Eminem act, and I really started to focus and like like, you know, evolutionize myself in what I wanted to say. So whether it be my depression or anxiety, right through that, like very therapeutic, or why I wanted to make it in this industry, or just use this lyrics and this art form to give back to, you know, the person that was probably going through like their pain, or could maybe like uplift that person through my lyrics. And that's why I did hip-hop music. And you know, from 14 till now, it's been one hell of a journey, and I've met people, got myself on multiple platforms I never thought I'd see today. And just like I said, like at the end of the day, hip hop saved my life. Like I don't know where I would be without it, but I'm thankful every day that, you know, this culture is something that really helped me out of a downward spiral. And I wasn't one to take it for granted, like, oh, you know, this is a passing phase, I'm on to something else. No, I really generally love this culture to death. Like the 5 elements, people say it's 4, I say it's 5 because knowledge is key. But, you know, from where it came from to where it is now, it is just, I love, I guess you can say I'm a prophet, like a pioneer in a sense, because I know so much knowledge on it. But yeah, that's kind of like my little origin story of how I got into this music scene. So when did you first start? I pretty much already, you know, answered that. When did you decide to start? Already answered that. Are you a solo artist or a part of a group? I'm solo, actually, from day one. You know, since day one, I've never had a group behind me, no manager, no label, no street team, nothing. You know, I've been a one-man army since day one. So all the radio play, the interviews, features, acting parts, gigs, like everything in between has been me from day one. It's just been that hustle grind mindset, my laptop, my phone, and a cup of coffee, a damn strong coffee if I might say, and just the hip-hop mindset. And a lot of people that see, you know, my achievement list honestly think that I have all these things behind me, but nah, I just, every awakening moment or every awakening day is literally an opportunity. And, you know, I feel like if I sat on my ass, you know, flicked on the remote and watched TV, or, you know, just went on Facebook and chatted to people, that's time wasted compared to an opportunity that comes around. So any artists out there, grind your ass off to the bone, even though this industry is so cutthroat, you know, to the point where you feel like that you're being either taken advantage of or things aren't working out. Keep grinding for this dream. You know, just like push every day. And I wouldn't say have that over positive mindset where it's like, I'm gonna make it, you know, because what if that day never comes? You know, not sound negative or nothing, but you got to have that like insight, that, like, you know, do everything in your power to try and make it, but have that realistic mindset of, you know, just do it because you love it, not because it's gonna happen. Because, like, in a sense, if you have that mindset, it's gonna happen, and then you hit about like 40 or 50 years old and it never happens, man, like, I don't know where you would be in your mental mindset. So have a realistic factor, but do hip-hop or any type of music or any type of art form because you love it at the end of the day. So all that talk about, yeah, like, you know, positivity and like, you know, think like the best and stuff, yeah, that's all well and cool, but it doesn't push you forward for the real world when it comes to the music industry. So that's my advice to anyone that wants to do this. What name do you go by? MUGZY, MUGZY, but to worldwide viewers that's MUGZY, not an S, even though people get it confused sometimes, and it actually quite annoys me when people put the S instead of the Z, but it's MUGZY. How did you come up with your name? Okay, funny story actually. When I was younger, like 14, 15, you know, there was a movie that was out at the time called Soul Planet. It was one of Kevin Hart's first film. Kevin Hart, Method Man, Tom Arnold, Snoop Dogg, and Method Man from Wu-Tang Clan. You know, he plays a guy called MUGZY in it, and he was like this real hip-hop, kind of quirky, real laid-back kind of dude. And I'd watch that film. It's like one of my favorite films, like comedy films. And I'll look at him, I'll be like, yo, that dude is so much like me, even though I'm like a white boy. But I'll be like, that dude is so much like me. But he spelt it MUGGSY. So, you know, I just thought, man, that's such a dope name. The character is like kind of like my mimic in a sense, you know, my characteristics. So, you know, I dropped it to 1G, flipped the S to a Z, and it's just ringed ever since. So I've met some of the Wu members. I've met RZA, Ghostface, and Raekwon. Never Meth, but if I ever meet Method Man, like one day during my career, I can thank him and say, you're the one who, you know, stemmed my whole career to a whole nother level. Because it always starts with one name. It always starts with the name. So, who do you like to collaborate with? Anyone, honestly. You know, because when I was starting off, this was before Facebook and Instagram and all this social media. This was the MySpace days. So, you know, remember MySpace where you'd have your little band profile and, you know, have like your top, I think it was like top three, I think it was 3 or 5 friends or something. But when I had like my rough little demo, I think it was like 2 or 3 tracks or something. But I remember MySpace days, and I'd try and network as much as possible. Like I'd be like, hey, you know, like I'm MUGZY, I'm trying to get out there, da 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 da. And like these guys that are in my position right now, they would have this ego about them, which would be like, yo, like we've never heard of MUGZY before, you know, like give us a good reason why we should check out your stuff. And it was like this ego thing, because I'm not with your crew, or you know, because you've never heard of me before. It's like I got to prove myself just to show you my work. So now that I'm more developed as an artist, when I get there, those, you know, SoundCloud requests, or that artist that probably has like 3 followers or something, and he's like, look, MUGZY, I know that you've done so much in your career and you don't have the time to probably check me out. It would really mean a lot for you to check me out and stuff. Look, man, like, even though I get bombarded with messages and I can't check them all, you know, I'm willing to help that next artist in need. I'm willing to collaborate with that artist in need, because we all have a dream. We all want to push, you know, like to make a living off this. You know, we don't want to work those 9 to 5s and do music on the side. We all want this dream to happen. So that's why I say collaboration is key, networking is key, and helping that next person in need is key. So having these egos and stuff, man, like, I don't know if I can swear on this show, but middle finger to you guys, man, because that ego stuff is so corny to me. And it's so, those artists that I do help, or I'm willing to share their SoundCloud link, or even give that like on their YouTube video when no one else is doing it, they really appreciate it, and they remember you for the long time. So any artists that are watching this, don't have ego, just collaborate with it, like, you know, like anyone, and like anyone that's willing to reach out to you, and vice versa. Where do you play? My last gig, you know, any gigs, I do like really any gigs, whether it, you know, even if it's small ones, like if it's like youth center gigs, or even like a little simple open mic at a bar, I'm willing to do it. But my last gig was at Coast to Coast Mixtapes, when they came here to Australia, and they're trying to look for like the next big artists. They're doing like a worldwide kind of tour. I think it started with Miami, and they came to Australia, I think it was last month or the month before, but E40's touring DJ was there, and he was one of the guest judges, and I performed my track, My Journey. Ripped the crowd, you know, they loved it and stuff, because I brought like that real energy and stuff to it. Didn't get through to the next round, which was a shame, but that was more, I'm just like happy enough that I got to perform at a Coast to Coast mixtape event, because to the hip hop community or culture, Coast to Coast mixtapes is like huge, man. Like, they are pretty big within hip hop. You know, I've been on some of their I've sent some of my tracks to their compilation mixtapes before, but to perform at an actual event, yeah, that was grateful. So thanks to Coast, and thanks to all the judges and all the artists that performed on the night as well. You did your thing. But yeah, like that was like one of my all-time favorite gigs. When are your upcoming shows? Where are your upcoming shows? No, when are your upcoming shows? Honestly, at the moment, I put the gigs on hold. Like, if anyone wants me to feature at gigs and stuff, I'm willing to do it. But actually, you know, going out there and doing it like I used to, I put it on hold at the moment, because I'm working on 2 projects to finish off 2018, 2019. One is a 3rd album. You know, I'm trying to do a 2-disc, kind of like what Outkast did, trying to do a 2-disc. Like, I've got the beats and stuff, like the instrumentals. I'm just got to figure out the right, you know, ones to put on the, you know, the album, but the right messages and the right, I guess you can say, blueprint flavor of, you know, to give to the fans and stuff. But all I can say is these beats and these instrumentals, and like the visualized image that I'm trying to put in my head to like carve it out correctly, I honestly reckon is going to be better than, you know, my 1st and 2nd album. So at the end of hopefully this year, maybe going on to next year, you'll hear a 3rd album for sure. And big things happening. A mini documentary about my career with Sydney Film School. Sydney Film School is one of the biggest here in, you know, New South Wales of Australia. They found my page and they hit me up, and they wanted to do sort of like a mini documentary about my career, like a day in the life, get the camera crews and follow me around to, you know, hopefully submit this film to the Sydney Film Schools at the you know, the film schools at the end of the year in December. So I was blown away, because majority of the time you always hear that these label artists or these big, you know, upcoming artists and stuff are the ones that get these documentaries, not an underground artist like myself. So having that opportunity, like a mini documentary on me, man, like, come on, like, that's, and like no manager like finding these people to find this documentary, no street teams like handing out flyers or handing out my mixtapes and my demos out there saying, yo, do like a mini documentary on, you know, on MUGZY. I've literally been funding this solo man, like one man army since day one. So any artists out there, you don't need a whole team, you just need that dream mindset. So I've got those 2 projects coming up, and when they release 2019, there'll be more gigs on the table, and, you know, more of me rocking the mic and performing up there, and, you know, rocking the crowds again. I just need that new content, because no one likes to always hear old content, you know, from 2013. Everyone likes to hear new content. So when the stuff starts to drop, that's when I can get up on the mic and start to rock. And that's all I'm about to say for you guys. So thanks once again to my girl Brenda Lopez. Shout out thanks to Spread Your Music to the World show. It was a real fun interview, even though I've probably gone over, I don't know, 10-15 minutes maybe. But, you know, check them out, because they're doing incredible opportunities for upcoming and unsigned artists like myself. And hopefully this gives you an in-depth interview kind of feature on me and my career. If you like what you see, check out my fan page at MUGZY, MUGZY, but to worldwide viewers, that's MUGZY. Give me a thumbs up if you're an artist and, you know what, you want me to check out your stuff, or, you know, collab or vice versa. Hit me up at the inbox. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. But my fan page at MUGZY, MUGZY, keeps you up to update with what's going on in my career, and most importantly, support B Lopez, my girl Brenda Lopez, Spread Your Music to the World show. I'll leave the link below, but check them out on Facebook as well, and keep supporting real hip hop for 2018. I'm out, guys. Peace.